Netflix's newest film is Purple Hearts, and Sophia is our star. She's playing Cassie, who's our waitress, who's a little bit down on her luck. And obviously, she has the musical background from her Descendants role, and she was really good in that. And she's playing a bar waitress who's really into music, but she's a little bit down on her luck, and she's diabetic as well. So she has to manage her money and pay her rent and be able to buy the insulin that she needs to obviously stay alive. Where, unfortunately, the waitressing job doesn't pay as well, and you can see she's trying to perform some sets as well where the manager isn't really giving her a shot on there, even though you can see like the crowd's quite engaged with her songs and their performance is really good. Luke, who's our troubled sort of soldier, well, new soldier, and he's got a past that obviously he needed to rectify his life, otherwise he was going down a wrong path. And due to a chance meeting, obviously they have a mutual friend who's also enlisted at the same time. I really like the interactions between those two is actually quite good. There's a reasonable amount of chemistry between them, and Luke actually presents Cassie with an option of faking a marriage and being able to obviously get the medical benefits, and also so that she can get her insulin, and sort of that's what's going to have that little drive for the story, where their interactions as they come along, there's a few twists and turns, but they do really well in terms of the cinematography of Cassie really delving into her music, into the situation where she calls Luke her muse. And I really like when Luke's actually out on patrol or deployment, like that whole setup where they're really not sure about each other, but obviously any like romantic sort of movie is going to have that will they or won't they get together. And by obviously the predictable storyline through the acts, you get to see the bond forming, and there are those little hiccups along the road. But what really puts this movie out of that really like great, unfortunately, the little so the B plot line where obviously Luke's past is coming in, and it just felt really cheesy. Like their delivery between those two was odd, between Luke's past and his current self, where those worlds colliding just did not have the impact that you're looking for. There was no real emotional drive for it. Like I know they needed it to be able to have that sort of major hiccup along the road for our newlywed couple. Fortunately for them, things do hit an escalation, but obviously the predictable storyline comes in and saves the day. So it is a really nice, heartwarming film. I really like the songs, so it actually has a great soundtrack. Like Sophie has some great songs. I actually did listen to it on Spotify because the songs were actually reasonably well performed, and the cuts between Luke being out on deployment in Iraq or Middle East, wherever they went, and her performing for like the soldiers, and her really getting her big chance with Luke really pushing her to get out of her comfort zone and allowing her to like really flourish in the rock star life. And like it's an enjoyable ride. There's a little bit of some slow moments here and there, and that sub B plot line of Luke's past, and just unfortunately that doesn't hit it. But obviously when Luke comes back into the picture and they are forced to be that married couple, I really do like the tension on that as well. So overall, their chemistry is the main thing that's going to drive this movie forward. It's probably about a 3 out of 5, where just that subplot line just ruined all of it, where the chemistry between the two was good. The story moved at a reasonable pace besides a few scenes that were a little bit off-putting. But other than that, banging soundtrack. Let me know if you're going to see it, or if you like the soundtrack and you know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.